Are we ready?
Are we live?
Sure. We've been live.
Good God Almighty, we are screwed. All right, are we ready now?
I've been ready.
Let's do it to it.
Are we going to ask me any more questions as I get ready to start?
Hey, what are we doing?
Right. Hello, everybody. What?
There's the blooper. There it is.
All right, welcome back to Two Couples, One Podcast. This is our second video, and my name is John. Next to me, I've got Smacky or Sean. We got Jen, Jenna, Jennifer, Barbie. The list goes on. And then above me is my beautiful wife, Melly, Melissa, or Nut Lover. And today, our topic of discussion is vacations. And real quick, a definition of what that actually is a period of time, either a leave of absence from work, school, or a trip away from home where individuals focus on leisure and recreation. Is that a lie?
Not a vacation.
Not a
Sometimes
staycation.
Sometimes vacations can be a lot of work.
Yeah, they are a lot of work and expensive as hell.
I always need a vacation for my vacation.
For use of those across the pond, isn't it holiday?
All
Yes,
day
I
or
think it is.
fortnight.
Mhm.
Do you want me to look that up?
No, they call it holiday. They don't
It's
use
holiday
it
or-
Is it?
Definitely
Fortnite.
not what? I have
Yes.
never heard somebody use that
Fortnite
as
is
a term.
a
Video game.
section of time, typically 14 days.
Excuse
but-
me while I go on a fortnight.
2 weeks. Who goes away for 2 weeks?
Rich people. Oh.
We
We're
do.
happy if we get like a day or two away. We're like, hell yeah, we went on a vacation.
we go up to Austin. It's like, hell, we're on vacation. We're like 2 hours away. Hell yeah, we done,
Yeah.
bitches. Technically, I guess that would be like a staycation for us, but
Yeah.
Listen,
We went on Corpus for like 2 or 3 days.
well, we
Not like
have to do 2-week vacations because we go up to New York a lot. So most of it's free anyways because we stay with people. So if it wasn't, free room and board, it probably would be a different story.
true.
Everybody we know lives around us, so it's really there's nowhere to go. We got
Well-
family in California.
Right. I was gonna say, Arizona, Nebraska.
We don't go there.
Okay,
We've been
so
to
what
California a couple times.
what has been your favorite vacation that you've taken before?
Cruise.
The cruise, yeah.
It's
I don't know, we went camping with the kids once or twice. and
Yeah.
We've done some stuff, but like the best one that we had the most fun on, because we were kidless, is the cruise. But what is your favorite one with the kids?
Hawaii.
We lived in Hawaii.
I was paid to work in Hawaii, huh?
We went to California with the kids.
Yeah. I think that was probably the best. We forced our daughter to drive.
Well, no, we flew the last time.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the one where we actually put our daughter in the driver's seat right after she got her license.
It's a 2-day drive. It's like a 2.5-day drive from here to San Diego.
That's-
OTR.
Here I am, a truck driver. I'm like, okay, it's your turn to drive. I'm tired. She's like, what?
Yeah. Well, it's long days, man. Long days.
What was your most stressful vacation?
I don't know if it was a vacation when we moved here.
No, our most stressful vacation was the last one when we were arguing the whole time.
Hey,
Yeah.
I can tell you what Barbie's was. It was probably also one of her favorites. So we did, we paid for the big Disney bundle and we did all that. And if I'm paying buku money to do something, I'm doing something every day, all day long. I am getting my money's worth.
Yeah.
So for me, it wasn't stressful, but I can tell you, I stressed out everybody else in the party.
Actually, I think that you're wrong on that one because I was gonna say that was my favorite. It was my favorite trip. It wasn't stressful. It was exhausting. We learned our lesson. We were like, never. We'll do Disney again, absolutely, but we're not gonna do it like back to back to back, especially not with young kids. Like we had Cooper and Otto were. It was Cooper's 3rd birthday, so Cooper was 3, Otto was 6. So it was like, these kids were tired. And it was, I think, more fun for me, honestly, than it was for Smacky because he was also pledging for the brother, the fraternity. And my stepdad made him take a crown. My stepdad went and bought a crown and told him, as like his fraternity brother, you have to take this crown off of her head and you must protect this crown no matter what. So you always have to carry it on you. It's not allowed to get bent. It's not allowed to do this. And every time you put the crown on her head, you have to address her as Princess Jennifer Mackey of Walt Disney World Resort or something like that. It was
Wow.
so funny. And my bio dad was there too. So, and it was anytime I asked if I wanted to have it on, he had to put it on. If I wanted to have it off, he had to take it off. So we had a blast with that. It was really fun.
I could see it too.
It was fun for me because me and Otto did just about every roller coaster, to the point where we went to Animal Kingdom just to ride Everest. Like, we got into Everest, we had it fast passed, and then me and Otto sprinted through the park, so we were one of the first ones on the roller coaster that day. So
Everest was also the ride that almost made him never ride roller coasters again.
no, Everest was the one where the girl passed out in front of us.
Yeah, and he said that it was terrifying. He wasn't sure if he ever wanted to do roller coasters again afterwards. You missed that part.
Now, was that
So everybody
Disneyland
was
or
all
Disney World?
Disney World in
World.
Florida, yeah.
We don't go to California.
I mean, mistakes can be made.
California.
I've been to
Listen.
California too, and I will not go back.
I was gonna say I went to California with my mom on a mother-daughter trip, but we didn't go to Disneyland. We
I went
just,
to California for a prom.
I
Yeah.
love California. But we know all the hot spots and stuff. That's where we're from. So we know all
Yeah,
the
that
places to go and like the little things to do. I love California. Okay.
I-
Still have
Yeah.
a lot of family there.
So you're one
Yeah.
of the Texans transplants to Cali.
Mm-hmm.
For her,
I've
yeah.
been,
Before it was the cool thing to do.
I've been in
Yeah.
Texas almost as long as I lived in California. We've been in Texas for over 20 years now.
Yeah,
we're-
and
we're
I didn't
more
leave by
pushing that in North
choice.
Carolina.
Didn't leave that by choice.
No, I did not leave Texas by choice. I was a kid, so my parents forced me to go to California. Now, to be honest, had I not done that, I would have never met my wife many years later. But yeah, I got stuck there. I even went in the army to get away from it, and ended up getting stuck there again when I got out. And Nut Lover just one day said, "Let's move." I'm like, "What?" She
I
said,
didn't say it one day. We were drowning in California.
yeah, but that you
Oh,
came
like
up
New
the.
York.
Yeah, she made the final decision. I wanted to leave, but I knew her family was there, and I didn't want to leave. So I was like, crap, how do I tell her I want the f out of here? And she said, let's move. Let's go to Texas. I went, huh? Cool. Woo-hoo, bye, Felicia.
Well, the cost of living in California is astronomical. That's why people vacation because it's so expensive to live there. you know?
Right.
Yeah, I could not imagine living in California. It's definitely expensive. It's part of why we left New York too. Like, there's so many beautiful places in New York: Lake Placid, Saranac Lake, Adirondack Mountains in general.
The Catskill Mountains.
Five Finger Lakes.
Catskill Mountains are okay.
You say they're okay. People travel from across the world to go there.
Listen, I know they go to there. I mean, our hometown has the Headless Horseman, like worldwide known. People travel from Europe and stuff to go to the Headless Horseman hay rides, and they got haunted houses and stuff. And there's plenty of like things to do there, but
Skiing is
it's too expensive.
No, California has a lot of great vacation stuff. I mean, just in L.A. and Anaheim, I mean, you got Disneyland, you got Knott's Berry Farm, Magic Mountain, Universal Studios. They recorded some of the Magic Mike, of course, and then of course you obviously have the beaches, which are beautiful. You got and more inland, you have is it Tahoe. So you can go skiing up in Tahoe. So,
Tahoe's in Nevada.
well,
It kind of
Big
borders
Bear,
on the
Big Bear.
Baja.
I'm sorry, I'm thinking of Big Bear.
Yeah.
Big Bear, you can go up and go skiing during the wintertime. So there's a lot to see, but living there is torture. You just, unless you've got a lot of money, it's hard. It's still a lot of money to go do the vacations, but it's definitely worth, going to do that. That's about the only part of California I want to go back to. It's just a vacation. Then I can leave and not have to worry about it anymore.
If you go to California in the wintertime, there's a little place in Southern California, it's a little town called Julian, and they have like this apple pie. It's like a picturesque, like what you'd see in the movies, little town. It's just amazing.
Yeah. God, their apple pie. Oh, the whole town's. I mean,
Yeah,
that's
the
what
whole town smells like apple pie.
Yeah, I mean that's what they're known for is their apples and their apple pie and their ciders and stuff. But yeah, in the wintertime when it's nice and cold and the fires are going and you hear that every restaurant's baking apple pies. Holy, it's like Hershey, Pennsylvania. It smells like a freaking chocolate bar. Yeah, it smells like a freaking apple pie all day long everywhere you go, and you're just like, oh, I'm gonna get like 400 pounds today. Let's go.
So different places to visit. What's a place you always wanted to go and haven't gone yet?
I've got quite a few places that I definitely want to go.
I don't know if we got time for this
Inside
list.
the U.S. and outside. Where do you want to go inside the U.S. and where do you want to go outside the U.S.? Let's take that because I know everyone wants to travel.
Yeah, I definitely Ireland is like one of my top places that I would love to visit. My friend went there I think last year and she was like, it was beautiful. I'm definitely going back. Like, I'm like, okay, can you stop rubbing it in my face, you bitch? As far as where I want to go visit, I want to visit Montana. I've heard it's gorgeous
Montana's
there.
beautiful. Utah.
Yeah.
I heard Utah is probably outside of Hawaii, Utah is probably the prettiest state is what I've been told. Surprisingly, because of the Salt Lakes and everything, they said it's like magical.
I believe that. I forgot about Hawaii too, though.
I want to do Vegas or Alaska for inside. Because I had a chance to go to Vegas for my bachelor party, and my wife nixed that. And then outside the U.S., Finland or Ireland, one of those.
I just want to point out the reason why I nixed him going was because my stepdad was trying to take him the day before our wedding.
Oh wow! Yeah, that's not a good idea.
We would have been fine.
They wouldn't. No, they wouldn't have got. I knew because here's how it works. Like I love my stepdad truly. However, whenever he takes someone to Vegas, they end up extending 2 to 3 days, and that was not happening. So.
Yeah, that's kind of a last minute thing, wasn't it?
I think Vegas is more of an adult destination than it is for kids, even though they do have kids stuff there.
Yeah.
EBG, inside the U.S., outside the U.S.
Oh, good night, almighty. We ain't got time for this list. Well,
just like your top place.
Okay, well, the thing is, because of my profession as a truck driver, I have seen every state, with the exception of the one I can't get to, and that's Alaska. But Alaska is definitely the one I want the most of. We even talked about doing the Alaskan cruise because I want so bad to go there. And I had the opportunity when I was in the Army, when they handed out our orders.
We're gonna be there.
Yeah, I was given orders to go to Alaska, and she had never been out of California. So as soon as I got those orders, I was sitting in the hallway almost bawling my eyes out. I was like, oh, God, I'm going to get divorced 6 months into my marriage. And then drill sergeants all came back out, give me your damn orders back. And they took everybody's orders because apparently a bunch of guys didn't get orders. And so they took them all back, and I guess they put them back in the system, and they called the red line, brought us back out in the hallway, and started handing them back out. And so second round, I ended up with Hawaii, and I was just like, I have no problem telling my wife this. But I wish I had gotten Alaska, though.
I turned down Germany because I just got married, and I turned down wherever Guantanamo is. I got orders to go there, and I turned them down. So we got Bragg in Kansas.
Yeah.
Outside of the U.S., DBG still France?
Outside of the...
Japan?
I guess it's really going to depend on the timing because with everything going on in the world, it's hard. I just want to tour Europe. Like, they have those train, like, see Europe, and you get on a train and like you get a day and all these little places for like 2 weeks. You know,
I know you wanted to see Japan too.
yes and no. Again, it's like Japan, China. I want to see both of them, but there's a lot of stuff going on that side of the world right now. So,
They're also hard countries to get allowed into.
yeah,
To go visit.
Yeah.
yeah. So, but Europe, that's the big one. You know, yeah.
Berlin Wall's nice. Been there. Been all over Germany. And then Middle East. Beautiful if they would stop shooting at each other. Realistically, like Iraq and Afghanistan could have some of the coolest like tourist destinations if they could stop clan wars. Because the mountains in Afghanistan make Colorado look tiny, and they're absolutely beautiful. Um, but no, I'd love to go to Greece too.
Mm.
Yeah.
Another one.
I want to go to Greece or Italy, and then in the U.S. I'd probably New York or Alaska. So I've always wanted to go to New York, so maybe I'll meet you guys up there sometime. I'll crash at your
girl.
place.
Yeah, you don't want to go to New York. There's nothing.
I
there.
do.
Go to the
There's
right-
so much I want to see that I've never been able to see.
There is. You definitely want to go to the right spots, but I will say, like, as a New Yorker, it's funny. I've never seen the Statue of Liberty. Ever. Like, in planes, maybe. That's it.
Really?
Yeah,
Really.
Is that because
I
of
mean, that's
location?
Experience.
No, I mean, we used to go, I mean, when my mom and stepdad first got together, they went to the city all the time. It was like 2.5 hours from us, which is a normal commute, just so that we're clear from where we're from. And we never went. We did other things. We would go to like FAO Schwartz, or we would go ice skating at Rockefeller Center, or just we did a lot of like in the city things, which I feel are a lot better of a choice than necessarily going out. Not saying that like seeing the Statue of Liberty isn't like awesome, because I'm sure that it is, and that was on my bucket list at one point, but at the same time, like, there's just so much to do in the city. It's hard to get it all done in one weekend or whatever have you, and it's also expensive.
Yeah.
So I've been on the
There's a lot we want to see.
I've been on the ferry. We weren't allowed off the ferry to go onto the island for Ellis Island or the statue. But we did a ferry ride as part of a high school or middle school trip down to the city.
My
But I
schools
have
failed me.
I did see the Rockettes, been to Rockefeller Center, but I absolutely despise the city. So you guys can have fun with that trip.
No, I remember as a little boy, I don't know why we were up there. My parents did take us up there, and I saw the Statue of Liberty from a distance. The lake to it was frozen, and I remember throwing snow onto the ice and almost falling onto the ice. My parents getting mad and spanking me because I climbed down the rocks and I wasn't supposed to. So that's my memory of New York as a little bitty boy, and I was 6, maybe, if that. So I don't recall a whole lot of anything except for there was a big statue. I didn't know what the f- it was, and yay, we're here and it's freezing. I want to go home.
That's totally fair.
Oddly enough, the first time I saw the DC monuments, we were on US 1, and I was in a motorhome and I was riding in the bed above the cab. So that's how I saw all the DC monuments for the first time. And it's the same way I saw Kitty Hawk in North Carolina for the first time. Was, we were passing through and I just happened to be up there and looking out the window.
I tell you, Washington has a lot of really nice and a lot of history to see. I did get to go there. I went there on a Boy Scout jamboree. Yes, I was a Boy Scout.
You went to Washington, D.C. not
Yes,
Washington.
yeah, Washington D.C.
Yeah,
Sorry,
clear.
sorry, Washington D.C. and Virginia, excuse me. But we did a lot of touring. We got and so we got to see a lot of history and a lot of really freaking cool stuff. We even had a big celebration where the president, it's one of the Bushes, was flown in and was on stage. That was the first time I actually got to see what real snipers look like everywhere. That was kind of crazy and cool at the same time. And the jamboree also had a bunch of people from other countries, other Boy Scouts from other countries, which was really cool. But yeah, as a vacation, I would honestly love to go back to Washington again with DC. Sorry, and do the history now that I'm an adult. I think it'd be even better now because I have a better understanding what the hell I'm there for. Um, so I think that wouldn't be a bad destination location as well. So if anybody's looking for a historical landmark to go visit, definitely go there.
We did it when I was on R&R.
I was
We
gonna
went
say
down.
that was the first time I ever went was when Sean was on R&R. Had never been to DC, hadn't seen any of the stuff, and he was like telling me all this like history. And I'm like, dang, someone failed me somewhere. I do.
So my sister lived in Alexandria, so right outside of DC, and worked in DC. So when I came home on R&R, my dad was driving down to see her, so we hopped in with my dad, went down for the weekend, I think, and you know, did a bunch of the monuments, did a bunch of um, the museums, and that's when I learned Barbie doesn't
Yeah.
know history.
Yeah, museums, a lot of museums.
I'm terrible with history.
And the reenactments, some of the like the old towns and stuff that are there, the reenactments they do with the blue and gray, man, those are really cool to watch. There's also a lot of history there about ghosts. There's a lot of spirits wandering around those fields. You know, lost spirits from those wars.
It's funny that you mentioned reenactments. That's one thing that like where we're from is known for because it's the original capital of New York. So we're from Kingston. And they actually have it's called the Burning of Kingston, and they do a reenactment the whole entire weekend. You see red coats and blue coats, and it's really really fun. I haven't done it in years, but it's something my family used to make me go to every year, and I hated it because I had this one guy walk up to me, and he was just playing around. I don't even remember what he said, but he scared the crap out of me because it was just this big guy in a red coat, and I'm like, I need my mom right now. I was like 6 or 7. It was terrifying, but it was still really fun. Like once I understood like what was actually happening.
Yeah, so essentially the British came up the Hudson and then burnt Kingston to the ground. There's a few buildings. The one main church in Kingston, cathedral there, is still standing. And then,
We have actually quite a few buildings still standing.
yep, and then there's an intersection where every building on the corner of the four-way intersection was built before the either the Revolutionary War or Civil War, one of the two. And it's the only spot in America where you can stand and do that.
I've been to the Alamo
That sounds fun.
down by the Riverwalk. The Riverwalk's really cool.
So what is one of y'all's, and then I'll let Barbie tell ours, what is one of y'all's favorite memories from a vacation?
Well,
I'm trying to remember.
yeah.
My memory's not used to what it used to be. I'm like, when I was a kid, we go camping, but other than that, I only remember like one vacation as a child. Like, I don't remember much.
Well, are you meaning as a child or as her and I being together the last 31 years?
Either or. Well, you're old, so if you want to narrow it down to the last 31 years.
I was gonna say, holy crap, guys, we're gonna do that shit. I'm 52, so we got a lot of history to make up here.
Probably the cruise we went on recently, because that's probably the freshest in our memory. It was a lot of fun. I would do it again, but I want to go on a different cruise line and a different boat, because the boat is not that big. There's stuff to do in it, but you can only do see the same shops and stuff. But I want to do one with more destinations. We had one destination that we stopped at, and it'd be kind of cool to do multiple. But it was a lot of fun. I mean, at midnight we decided, we went up on the deck and we just watched. I think that's probably my favorite part of the trip is when we went out. It was like midnight. We went and got there. They have like the munching line for like from 11 to 2 in the morning, where they have like fries, pizza for people that are like been drinking all day. We went and got munchies, and we went and sat out on the deck and we watched Deadpool and Wolverine, and we just snuggled under the blanket, just watching a movie, just the two of us out on the sea, like the wind blowing. It was really fun. It was magical. It was probably my favorite part of the trip.
Yeah, I just say the same thing. And the thing about, with, like she was saying, with the cruise ship is, once you go on it and you know where everything is, it's just like whatever. The way, and what I was telling her is that, yes, when you go the first time, the first thing you're doing is you're going everywhere. You want to see everything. You want to find all the restaurants and all the shops and all this and that. And once you find them, you found them. It's like a big Easter egg hunt, you know. And then once you find them all, it's just like you're wandering around. And so I was telling her, I said, you know, next time we go, if we go on the next boat, the biggest thing is, like she said, go on multiple destinations. You know, not just one port, but 2 or 3. That'll make it a lot better. But what, you know, on the days at sea, because in between you're at what's called the day at sea, and you're just wandering the boat. For us now is the time for us. This is where our vacation in the future on a cruise will be, because now we're not, let's hurry up and go find this and let's go find that. We know where it's at. We can actually relax. We go, we lounge, we drink, we eat, we watch movies, we go to the casino. This will be the time where there's not that stress level of, you know, let's hurry up and go find this, or where's the pizza place, which we didn't find until the last freaking day we're on the boat. You know, but, you know, and then you don't decide whether you want to go, you know, where you want to eat all the time. It's just like there's food always there, you know.
Yeah, and the weird thing about a cruise, they show all these levels and stuff, but really you have the levels that you sleep on are like 4 or 5 levels or different people. Then there's like 3 levels that you spend time on. It's like where the food is, like the Lido deck. That's where like the restaurants and stuff are, and then there's a deck that has like the shows and stuff. So you really only have like two decks that you're on, other than your room. So it's not like you have the entire ship to cruise.
Yeah.
To walk around on.
Yeah, otherwise you're just wandering the halls of where everybody sleeps. They all look the same.
I mean, really, it looks like when you see a cruise that you have all these things to do, but there's really only 2 decks that you're on.
There's a lot to do on the vacation. There really is. I mean, they'll keep you busy, and they change the shows all the time. So if we go, you know, next time we go, we won't go during the Christmas time, because that's what the theme was this time, is we went in December. So, you know, maybe we'll go in November, where it's, you know, maybe, oh, we did go in November, but it was still pushing to the December cruise, you know,
like right on the border.
theme. Yeah.
We left in December and we left in November, came back in December.
Yeah.
Right at the end of November. Yeah.
So if you decide you want to go on a cruise, Carnival Cruise is great. We just want to experience the other cruises before deciding, okay, this is, you know, there's a lot of people that go on cruises and they just, excuse me.
You guys need to come down here because they leave out of Galveston.
Well, they can leave out of Florida too. They leave out of Alaska, Seattle. Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay, yeah. They leave out of a lot of places, but.
I'm gonna say, but Galveston's only like 3 hours from here, so y'all can come stay the night. We'll leave early in the morning. We'll stop down there. We'll stop at Whataburger on the way, halfway point, and then we continue on.
Don't mind the day and a half drive you've got to get to here.
Oh no, if I'm doing all that, I'm flying.
And we buy the drink package.
Yeah.
We're gonna drink, buy the drink package.
Point.
It's so funny because this is totally like off the subject, but we mentioned to our kids, or to Cooper today, we were talking about getting cards for them. I was like, well, what kind of car do you want, Cooper? And he goes, I want a van, a minivan. I was like, okay. He goes, or I want an RV. So my kid wants to learn how to drive on an RV. He goes, this way, when we want to go somewhere, we can just go. Don't worry. He's going to get himself an RV. We'll just take his RV out there to you.
Well, he can become a truck driver.
He's going to be something. Yeah, no, that would be, I think that's definitely like one of our goals is to come out. And we did.
I've already been there. Just saying.
Shut up. Yeah, all
but
know.
you didn't go on a cruise with us. We got to go on a cruise. If you go on a cruise and you're going to drink, get the drink package. It's not worth buying the single drink.
Yeah.
I'll probably be out there again here in the next couple months too. Barbie doesn't know.
We'll take you to a different
Does now.
place this time.
Listen, the place that right next to the hotel, those 2 eateries right there were pretty good. So.
Yeah. There's a lot, like where you are, you're like right in the middle of like Creekside, so there's a lot to see.
Yeah, we can,
Yeah, we
you know, go ahead.
I was just going to say, we definitely want to like go on a cruise. I have to get my passport and my kids' passports. And
you don't need a
And my
passport.
passport.
You do now.
You don't need a passport.
You do now.
As of
We do
what,
now.
January?
They changed it
As
just a
of
couple
this-
months ago, yeah.
Yep.
Probably
Wow.
because of the real ID thing.
Yeah.
And I have to get their social security cards ordered because I put them somewhere safe, and somewhere safe is now
You just
missing.
apply for the passport, right? You just apply online for it?
Yeah, but I don't have my kids' social security numbers.
Well, we have the numbers. We don't have the cards.
No,
You can
I
go
don't
online
have
and
their
order 'em.
numbers.
I
Yeah, I
have
have
the
to go
numbers. Don't worry
online.
about that.
Oh, good for you.
Well, if we go, I'm talking about adults.
Yeah,
We could do like a 5-day cruise.
yeah, definitely.
We could hit
and
2 ports in Mexico.
my stepdad has been like,
Begging us
gotten
to
your
go on
passports yet?
cruises.
Have you gotten your passports yet? I'm like, sir,
Wants to take us to the Philippines.
that is, yeah, he wants to take us to the Philippines. Because, you know, he's
Then I'll come
got
to
a condo
you
out
and go
there.
on a cruise. I'll come to you.
Just tell them your kids are going. We'll volunteer as kids.
I volunteer
He's
to
like,
do.
he was like, let's take the kids on a Disney cruise and we'll do this.
Oh, I don't
and
wanna do
we'll go on
Disney,
this
no.
cruise. And I'm like, I get so nervous about the idea of like my kids being in a pool with a slide on a boat in the middle of the water.
Yeah.
'Cause
She
It's
gets worried about her kids being anywhere out of her sight.
I do.
So she doesn't like the fact that there's a teen lounge that Otto can go hang out in, and a different group that Cooper will disappear in. She doesn't like letting go.
More so Cooper than Otto, because Otto I know can like handle himself. He'll handle himself very well. Cooper will go wilding out, and he'll be the kid that goes overboard. That would be my luck. He would be the one that goes overboard. He'd be the kid that goes missing on the cruise.
I'll learn how to tread.
No, he ain't learning nothing.
Oh, and a good trick, since you haven't been on there, people bring walkie-talkies.
Yeah.
Because your cell phone's basically useless. So if you want, if he want, if John wanted to go somewhere on the cruise, and I wanted to do something else, not that we did, but there's no way to communicate. So I saw a lot of people on the cruise having walkie-talkies just because.
That's actually
Unless
really
you pay
smart.
even if you pay for the internet, I guess you could text. It's like, how much is the internet? Like
It was
$20 a day. It was kind of expensive.
per person.
It wasn't really worth it for us. Yeah, per person.
I wonder if that Starlink works. Because my stepdad got himself a Starlink for when they're traveling. I wonder if that's why he got it. Is because they go on cruises. It's like
Probably.
the satellite internet.
Yeah, that's probably what it is.
So, babe, do you want to tell them our favorite memory from SeaWorld?
That was the choice. So we went when Otto was a year old. It was right after Sean got back from Afghanistan. My parents were like, "Hey, let's go to Disney. We'll take him to Disney." I'm like, "Okay, sure." So we went to Disney. We went to Universal, and we went to SeaWorld, and we met Sean's mother at SeaWorld. And at some point, Otto was potty training. At this point, he was almost 100% potty trained. And we had to take him into the bathroom. It's been a while, and I don't think he's gone to the bathroom. While we were trying to change his pull up, he peed all down the wall of the bathroom.
Well, he had a blowout.
Did he?
Prior,
I don't remember that.
So there was a blowout. So me, her mom.
Oh yeah, because I had to call.
Yeah, and we're all in there. We're all trying to clean him up. Now we're in the family restroom that now has a line, and we're like, we hear this water running, and we're like, what the hell is this water? And like, we just see a pool forming on the ground. Nope, we were holding Otto up, and he just decided he was going to pee down the side of the wall.
I forgot.
We were trying to clean up as
That's a
much as
boy
we
thing.
could. And
I forgot that was why, because I had gone in originally by myself to help. Like, it was that bad of a blowout, because all that food, eating all that junk food all the time, especially on a little guy, like, it was bad.
Damn.
It was bad. We were probably in that bathroom for a good 20 minutes just trying to clean everything up, and like, we were laughing our butts off.
went over the outlet that was in there.
Yeah.
It was bad.
Wow. That explains a lot.
Like, man, I don't know. I wouldn't say that that's my favorite. I think that was my most like
It's memorable.
Memorable.
Thank
yeah.
you.
That-
Words are rough, man. They're hard.
That, and then my trip, and it wasn't a vacation. We were actually had just deployed, and I had Otto. I had just given birth to Otto a week prior, and my mom and I were driving from Kansas to New York, and we were like, all right, we're gonna just try to drive all the way through, because we had chaos with us. So, huskies being huskies, he was like whining anytime we had to stop. So we were like, we need to get to New York like right now. And at one point we were in Pennsylvania and we stopped. And so Sean was part of the EOD battalion. And I had a hoodie that said 84th EOD. And I put it up in the window because I didn't want anyone to bother us because I was going to be pumping breast milk while my mom was feeding Cooper, or Otto. Jeez, I keep doing that. Anyways, so we put it up, and so we parked at a gas station, but it was like right next to a hotel. And the reason why I had put stuff up was because there was this guy that kept looking out his hotel window at us. And I was like, this is really freaking me out. So we put everything up. And next thing I know, I see a light outside the car, and I'm like, oh my gosh, Mom, I think there is a cop pulling us over. No, we're already pulled over. Like, I'm not sure what's happening.
I can't pull any more over, man.
So the cop comes up, rolls down the window, and Mom rolls down the window. She's like, can I help you? And she goes, oh, I just got a call about concerning behavior. I was like, so we explained what was happening. She's like, I am so sorry. There was a guy that called in and said that he was concerned about the behavior, and we just wanted to check and make sure something wasn't happening. And I'm like, well, I just didn't want him to come near us, which is why I put the EOD part on the outside of the car, because I wanted to be like, okay, we stay strapped, get away from me. Not to make everyone think we're planting something out here. We were laughing about it for hours afterwards.
This is the same woman that got stuck in a car wash.
Oh yeah, I did. We were driving my dad's truck, and there was nothing that said that like it was too big or anything. We got in there, and this poor guy that was like running the car wash. It was me, my mom, Otto, and our friend Jody. So Jody calls over and she's like, we need one of you guys to come out and like we're stuck in your car wash. And they're like, oh, we just left for lunch break. She's like, how are you on lunch break and there's nobody here to like tend to the car wash? You need to send someone. This guy was inside the car wash getting soaked, trying to get us, and he's like yelling at us to like put it in gear. I'm like, dude, what? It was hilarious.
So I have a question. If you were given an all paid vacation, everything paid for, flight, food, the whole works, but in order for you to get this vacation, you had to go in a cage on a shark exhibit in the ocean. In other words, you were doing the cage diving to see sharks. Would you take
100%.
it?
I'm there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Nope. No, thank you.
I just saw a social experiment that if you can live a year in this 747, you make 200 grand.
I sent you that.
Yeah, and if you only last 30 days, that 20 grand or 10 grand, something like that. But the catch is you have no electronics. The only person you see is the guy who brings you your food. Everything's paid for.
Could I have books there?
Yeah.
But I just couldn't have a Kindle though, huh?
Nope,
Yeah,
that's
no
all.
Wi-Fi.
No electronics at all. Zero
As long as I could have
electronics.
books, that'd be good.
That's what I said. I could do that,
I've been camping. I could do it.
right? I could sit there and read for.
The difference is I grew up in a generation where we didn't have cell phones, we didn't have laptops, we didn't have tablets. So I would love to go back. The kids today, you take their tablet or laptop or phone away. I mean, there's videos on it. These kids are throwing hissy fits, getting mad, and and punching their parents and screaming and hollering.
Yeah,
That is a lifeline. It's like the electronics is now an IV for our children's life support. And you pull that IV out, they're done.
It's funny because Cooper, sometimes he'll get like that, but realistically, when he doesn't have it, he's fine. He plays by himself for hours. He has no
Meanwhile,
idea
he's
what's
playing
going
a
on.
recorder in the other room right now.
I was gonna say he's literally right. Like they don't teach the recorder in school down here. And he says to me, "Mom, I want to learn the Bluey theme song on a recorder." I'm like, "Aren't you gonna get one of those like within the next 2 years?" So I asked Otto. He goes, "A what?" Like recorder, and he goes, "No, we didn't learn that." I'm like, what? Get out of here. So my stepdad's like, "You're welcome." Sent it in the mail.
Those are the most annoying little flute instruments.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, it hasn't been too bad, but we also just got this massive fan, and it drowns out sound. beautifully.
We got my son drums when he was little, a little drum set, and he loved it. Our kids love instruments. They both had
That was a
guitars.
mistake.
Taylor had a violin. Tim had drums.
And neither one of them play music now. They play music, but it's called turn the volume up as loud as they can get. That's about it. They play.
I like me some loud music.
I do too. We had a blast earlier when we were cleaning, and not cleaning, but painting. And I'm exhausted, man. It's been a long day. I haven't even done that much.
So there's a shark tour. It's a new like tour boat kind of thing, so you can go see the sharks. Now this one is, I wish I could bring it up on the screen, but it's.
Jamie, pull it up. Jamie, pull it up.
Hey Tim, while you're over there, hey Tim over there, hey you, yeah, Bonehead, producer, put that on the screen, please. No, in the future we can get that, but anyhow, so it's got a somewhat normal looking, like pontoon almost, boat on the top of the water, and underneath it is a not cage, it's like a glass room underneath that just hangs from underneath, where you can go and sit down. There's literally a guy sitting there drinking a beer, sitting down watching a great white swimming around him. And there's like 2 or 3 people inside there, and they're just sitting in shorts and a t-shirt, because it's all, all the auctions there. It's like having a submarine attached to a boat.
Yeah.
So,
Going to an aquarium.
yeah, basically.
Yeah, I love sharks.
So I don't know if that great white got mad enough and took off and hit the, the glass area, if it would destroy it. Of course you got to get out of there quick, but I don't know how they're built. I'm assuming they tested to make sure that no sharks can be able to get through that. And I don't know. It's called Port Lincoln Tours. So you can actually look that up online if you guys want to see what it looks like. It's actually looks pretty cool. They have other tours as well where they actually have the cage, but this is something that they're just now starting to advertise. Yeah.
The only issue I have with the cage is you have to be scuba certified.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm too lazy to do all that.
Yeah, no thanks. That's a no for me, dog. I'd rather sit I'll sit on a beach.
Okay, here's what we do, BBG. We send the wives to go do the isolation test. We'll go do the shark thing. Somebody's making money somewhere.
Right.
Just send me on a spa day. I'm good.
Yeah, I want to get that head spa. Ooh, have you seen those new? That would be like just like a perfect little. That in itself is a vacation. Go get like a massage and then get the head spa massage.
A head spa? Hold on.
Yes.
I gotta see what the heck you're talking about. Is this
amazing?
Oh, they just mess with your head?
So they wash your hair and they use like a scalp thing to clean your detoxify your scalp.
Y'all, I wish I could put this picture on the screen. That's creepy. Look, okay, so I understand this whole. I mean, I like a good massage. When Melissa does her massage on my head and my scalp, I just it's amazing. But
fall asleep.
yeah, the way they make this look, I mean, it's like they're covering your eyes, right? You're laying back, they cover your eyes and put
the waterboard thing.
And they got thank you. They got this ring that goes around you, and then it just shoots water straight at you, dude. Like. And one of them's got one of those ice pack things, the blue ice packs around their eyes.
Yep, I'm looking at that image right now.
And I'm sitting there going, this is some hardcore waterboarding shit. This is how they. This is how they.
You can overlay these photos.
This is how they find out the truth, what women really think of men. Do you love your husband? The water's getting hotter. Do you really love your husband? The water's getting hotter.
I got a weird question. On what John was saying about if you have to go underneath and do the sharks, but what if there was a 5-star hotel, all expenses paid, amazing tour, but it was Jurassic Park?
Oh hell yeah, I'm gone. Let's roll.
That would be so cool though.
I want to hunt a dinosaur.
I'm ready to be eaten.
At the same time, it would be so scary because I've seen the movies. It seems like anything that could go wrong would. But I'm like,
listen, we just brought back the dire wolf. Jurassic Park's not too far away.
Truth.
Listen, I'm convinced I could tame a pterodactyl. A pterodactyl.
He wants a pet raptor.
I do.
I want a dragon. I feel like it'd be fun to ride a dragon.
Yes, but what would you feed it?
People I don't
Yeah.
like.
You're like, "Sean, you
Whatever
better
it wants
behave
to
because I got a
eat,
dragon.
What I don't see, I can't say,
What do you
admit
feed the
to.
dragon?
A
I
lion
don't think they're
maybe?
vegetarians.
You tell the dragon, you have 1 hour to eat. I'll see you when you get back.
List people.
I don't need to
Go
know.
ahead, disappear. I'll see you back here.
Yeah, I don't need to know.
There's definitely a list of people that I could. I've got someone in mind immediately that I would feed happily.
Everybody who brake checks a big rig.
Oh man.
Either way, you're going to be eaten, either by truck or dinosaur. So
Maybe we can get together once a year and do something really different. Like, I love doing ghost tours. We did that one. I want to go on one of those hunt for Bigfoots. They have those like glamping tours, you know, like you hunt for
Oh,
Bigfoot.
I didn't know they have a glamping like hunt for Bigfoot thing. That sounds
They
fun.
have like some really cool ones, and like John and I, we want to do like the train. Like you can do a train like up the East Coast and the West Coast.
what about
okay.
a vacation in Gatlinburg? We all can meet in Gatlinburg, Tennessee.
Bro, I would
Oh,
totally
love
go.
Gatlin.
Yep.
I only been there once, and it was gorgeous.
Gatlinburg's
go to
not
Dollywood.
Not right
I
now.
wanna
Not
go to
right now
Dollywood.
because, you know, it's gonna take us going 3 states away to get back to Tennessee at this point. Because I-40 can't stay above water.
Oh yeah, it's been rough, man. I don't know if you guys saw
No.
that. It got washed out.
Yeah.
Again from,
No,
but yeah,
I'd want to go right towards the beginning of wintertime when we do it because it's so beautiful in Galveston. I mean Galveston, good God, Gatlinburg.
It's beautiful too. Been there.
Yeah, I lived in Gatlinburg for a year and a half when I was a kid, and I've thought about that my entire life about how beautiful it was. I loved it. I was Mr. Mountaineer in first grade. It's I'm not even gonna get into it, but it's an athlete thing. So I actually have a plaque with my name on it at the actual school in Gatlinburg. Every grade level had a Mr. and Mrs. Mountaineer with the best athlete of their school class. So I'd love to go see that again and see if my name's still on that thing or if it just got who knows what happened.
Place.
Yeah.
I could probably do like next winter. Definitely not this winter. We are
Right.
so
Oh,
many
yeah.
freaking trips. I
Yeah.
swear. Oh my
We
gosh.
could plan it.
Yeah,
We were looking
I'd be
at
down for that.
Airbnbs. Because I got to
Yeah.
go when he graduated basic in Kentucky in Fort Knox. So we drove, after we drove out there and we went to Gatlinburg because my mother-in-law was like, there's this restaurant there that I really want to go to. And the restaurant was still there, but we passed Dollywood. And I really want to go to Dollywood. I love Dolly Parton. I think she's just
My
fantastic.
sister was just there this past weekend and said it's not all what it's cracked up to be.
I still want to go. I still want to see it. I want to see that because it's not that far from Gatlinburg.
Yeah.
I think it was like an hour away, so it's really not. But the Smokey Mountains, and then they have that cable car that goes up. I don't do heights, so I won't do the cable car. But they just had the coolest little shops. It's just like one of those postcard
Well,
towns, you know?
You just
You've
don't
gotta
think about the
try.
height. You get in the cable car, you just think you're on the ground the whole time. Everything's
heights.
fine.
Well,
I don't even do roller coasters.
there are some of the cable cars that go up that are actually, I mean, it's literally right
They're
there
rail
on.
cars.
They're basically a rail car. It's on the ground and it goes up the
That's the
mountain.
one I saw. Here's the ground right here. Here's the mountain. Here's the cable car.
Well,
In the ice.
that-
There's icicles in the cable car.
Okay.
I'm not going to let it snap
I'm-
and go flying. I'm not Tarzan.
Don't-
Okay, I'm not doing
by the time
this.
we get you on the cable
Tarzan.
car- By the time we get
You
you
know
on
what?
the cable car, you're not gonna know you're on a cable car.
See, I'm the one
It only
thinking that
swings
when
from
shit
side to
goes
side when the
down-
wind blows.
When shit goes down, it's gonna go down. When I'm on the ride, when I'm on the cable car, something's gonna happen. It's gonna be when I'm there. That's when shit happens.
The worst thing that would
that's when it's gonna
happen
go.
is that John would let one rip, and we're all stuck in a confined space.
I ain't doing
Listen,
that.
we
Y'all
That
go,
would be
bye.
awesome.
cable
I'm gonna
car.
stay. I'm gonna stay on the ground and go get a head massage. Okay. Bye. Have fun.
You mean
We'll
the
go get
water
head
boarding?
massage
You-
sung above the cable car.
You go get waterboarded. I'm going up the mountain.
We had a beautiful little quilt shop. I'm gonna go there. Y'all have fun up on the mountain.
No, there's a lot to do, but I can tell you they have the best rainbow trout.
Gorgeous.
The best rainbow trout you'll ever get.
At the Hearth Restaurant.
Oh
Very
God,
bomb.
oof, man, talk
You know
about
what I
old
wanna
school.
do? I want to do Salem in October.
Which Salem?
Massachusetts, right? Not
Massachusetts.
Oregon. Okay, because
Not
when you
Oregon.
say Salem,
Not New York.
Well,
Oh,
listen,
no.
The only issue
yeah, I
with
do
that
too. I want to
is
go for the witch trials.
Yes.
everybody and their brother's gonna be there, and it's gonna be so crowded. And that's the reason it's gonna suck.
Okay, So for Halloween, you come down here and we'll go to New Orleans. And we'll go down doing some of the ghost
I'll go
tours.
back to New Orleans.
I want to go. I want to go
I don't
around
remember it.
fall. How far is New Orleans from here?
For us, about a 5.5, 6 hour drive. It's not far for us.
Because
Taylor and I, depends on how I drive.
Like these cemetery tours. And
4
stuff, 'cause
hours.
It's, hoodoo and voodoo is really big there, and Halloween's a huge thing in New Orleans.
Yeah.
It's New Orleans.
Listen,
Mine
we
was
can
in
just
New
do
Orleans.
the haunted pub crawl that I did. That was kind of fun. From what I can remember.
New Orleans from San Antonio is 7 hours, so it's like 8 hours. So maybe
Not
we
the
can
way
do
I
a-
drive.
It is for us.
we
You
can do
don't
a
want to
train
look
out
at
there.
that number.
I do
There
want to
is
look at that
something
number.
in Chicago that they do every year that raises money, and it's called the Roper Pub Crawl, and everyone dresses up as Mrs. Roper from Three's Company. They put the curly red wigs on, the moo-moos, and they all do pub crawling.
Guys and
Like
girls.
guys and women.
That's amazing.
It looks like so much fun.
I love that.
I love Mrs. Roper. But I don't know why her specifically. They just dress up as Mrs. Roper. You should look it up. Look up the Roper Pub Crawl. It's hilarious. Guys, women, they're all dressed in moo-moos and the red curls.
It's not that bad, Smacky. It's only 10 hours and 20 minutes.
That isn't as bad as I thought it was going to be.
And the way Smacky
Yeah,
drives,
we
about
you
4
guys up
hours.
No, I'm driving Miss Daisy anymore.
Oh, he drives like an old man. Do you know he yelled at me the other day? He goes, "What were you doing, like 95 the whole way home?"
She had
I
an
was-
average trip speed of 84 miles an hour. There are multiple roads that are 30 or less on her route.
No, there's not.
That's
It's-
GG.
Get your hand out of my ear.
Listen, it is mostly 70.
No, you
5.
have a 3-mile strip of 70.
No, it's not 3-mile strip. Are you kidding? Do you want me to prove that it's not a 3-mile strip? I will
we
bet
can
you
actually
$50 right now. It's longer than.
I already gave you all my boy math money. I thought you copied it in my boy math money.
He's not betting because he knows I won't make a bet unless I know I'm right.
Except for that one
So
time
we
when
could
you
do
were
each
wrong.
do a day trip.
That's a little bit more than a day trip, but okay.
Well,
Yeah.
no, if they are 10 hours, we're 8 hours from there.
8?
We could drive, meet there for a couple days, and then drive back. We could share an Airbnb.
It's not 8 hours. I mean, I know what the map says, but I won't take 8 hours to get there.
Okay, well, this man
We
knows
won't
more than
take
Google,
10.
so
Smack, you'll take 12 hours to get there.
No, for the most part.
And let's be real, he wouldn't be allowed to drive anyways because this man gets so distracted lately.
Listen here, Wreck-It
Driving
Ralph.
over the white line.
Listen here, Wreck-It Ralph.
None of those were my fault.
Just gotta watch out for those mailboxes.
Listen, that's only an ATS, okay?
Well,
For the most part, we put the hammer down anytime we're on a long trip because we don't want to be on the long trip.
so New Orleans, Salem, and Gatlinburg. Those are our trips, and a cruise somewhere.
Yeah.
all right. So four vacations from 4 years. We got it. We're good to go.
What
And
if
we
you're
both just
like,
need to hit the lottery so we can afford them.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
All right, I'll start gambling tomorrow.
ugh,
Our anniversary's coming up, so we gotta figure out what to do for that. We normally go for a couple days, but this year I don't think we are.
Yeah. Our
Let me just add
our
her in a
30-year anniversary is next year, and the original plan was for me to get her to New York for her 30. I
Want to go to the Five Finger Lakes?
Yeah, I don't see it happening, but if something financially works its way out, then I might be able to sneak that trip in. But yeah, the Five Finger Lakes where I want to take her, mainly because of the fact that when I was doing OTR, I went to the Five Finger Lakes up in there and made a delivery right on one of the lakes to a winery, and I had to sit there for like 8 hours waiting to get unloaded, which was okay with me because the view was amazing. And I mean, it was literally, I backed up to their dock and I was just staring at the water in front of me. And I thought, this would be a great place to take Nut Lover someday. And that was 16 years ago. I'm still trying to get her there.
listen, we'll be in northern New York next year in the summer.
Our anniversary.
Yes, we will. Our nephew is graduating, actually, so yes, we will. Stop shaking your
I
head
will
no.
swipe in for it.
No, you will not.
No desire to go back to that state.
I don't care. You don't have a choice. Northern New York. Notice I said Northern New York.
Oh, I know where the racetracks are up there. That's fine. We'll go to a racetrack. I placed third last night. Let's go. But that one.
In the racetrack.
That one. There.
You know what else I want to go see though? I want to go see I want to go to the Ben and Jerry's yep,
Their original
factory
creamery.
in Vermont.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to see Vermont. I heard it's really beautiful. There's
is
so many places I want to see. I'm just happy to do anything. I'd like to go on just road trips for the day and just see the scenery. I'm pretty chill.
I've gone to quite a few places. Carowinds
Where are all the states y'all lived in?
lived.
Yeah.
New York, Kansas, North Carolina.
Is that it for you?
I think yeah. I lived in a lot of cities. I did a lot of moving, but mostly within New York. So.
New York, North Carolina, South Carolina, Florida, Texas, Kansas. I feel like I'm missing one.
Afghanistan.
Those aren't states.
He didn't.
It's a place that you lived.
He didn't live there.
I did live there
did.
for a
I
year.
did.
He was
For a
forced to
year.
be there, not by
I had
choice.
a mailing address, so I lived there. Kuwait. Lived in Kuwait for 2 months at one point. Not the nice part either.
Smacky's convinced that I lived in Canada at one point, so
You did. You grew up in Canada.
no, I grew up
You're
in
a
North.
Canuck. It came out today earlier when you said no. It's
I
about that time, no.
No, I said out.
Hoot. Hoot.
Hoot.
I
the
live
point
in
where
California,
Otto-
Texas, and Hawaii.
Let's see.
Mm. Okay. Well,
What about you?
here we go. Mississippi, Texas, Tennessee, Colorado, Arizona, Nevada. Did I say California already? Hawaii. I know I'm missing one.
You lived in Kentucky.
Kentucky. No. Well, yeah. No, I don't. No, I don't count
For
that.
basic, you were in basic for
It was
like
6 months. I know. I don't.
You still live there.
Okay, Louisville. I think that's it. No. My parents like to move. Freaking jerks.
See, mine moved, but it was like mostly. It was all in New York, so it was never really a problem, I guess. But then we did a lot of traveling. When my mom and stepdad got together, they did a lot of traveling. So like,
I've been up and down 95 more times than I can count.
yep,
There it is. The 14.
we did a lot of Disney trips too when I was younger. Once my mom and stepdad got together.
14.
I've been to Disneyland a couple times. I've never been to Disney World. I've never been to Florida.
The only time I went to Disney World, which is why I will never go back to Florida, I was a kid. My parents took me there for Disney World. Epcot Center was still being built. Yeah, don't judge me.
Boomer.
Yeah, I got
World
to.
of Tomorrow
Star
wasn't
Wars
even done.
Yeah, it was still a skeleton being built whenever I went to Disney
but
World.
You still wouldn't go to Florida, not even for Star Wars World?
Okay, so the reason behind Florida is we had I guess it's kind of like an Airbnb now, but it wasn't then. You'd rent a house on the beach, right? And our first night there, our car got stolen.
Oh no.
So we got a rental car, and we went to Disney World. And when we came back, our apartment / house got broke into. So everything that we had was stolen. So we stayed there that night, woke up in the morning, and our rental car got stolen.
I think you're just in a bad part of town.
We were on the beach,
Exactly.
and I was
Are
just
you
like,
sure it didn't get washed away, not stolen.
No, it got stolen. They found our car about 3 weeks later. It didn't have any tires or doors or windows. It pretty much got gutted. So, and then the rental car, we don't know anything. We don't care. So, yeah, our gray Lincoln, whatever the fuck it was, excuse me, whatever the heck it was, it got stripped down to nothing. So, since then I have had a hatred towards Florida because it ruined what was supposed to be a magical time for us was a total freaking nightmare. And all I did is watch my parents fight and get in arguments, and my dad lose his mind because his pistol got stolen. He always kept a revolver in the glove compartment. Yeah, it was gone. So he went and bought another one while we were there, just so we could finish off the vacation, cut our vacation short. Yeah, that's my memory of Florida.
Worst memory of vacation.
That's my
You need to
worst
go back.
vacation memory.
I lived in the greater Orlando area at one point. So you need to go back. It's not that
You
bad.
can't let one experience
I was gonna
sour
say,
everything.
If I thought that way, I would never go back to Texas because I got car stolen, jumped, apartment broke into, all in Houston.
Yeah, you went
That
Houston,
can happen to anybody at any time.
and now you're a Houston fan.
Oh, I was a Texas fan prior too.
Listen, you know what you need to do? You just need to get like one of the all-inclusive like places, which is the best way to do Disney anyway, because then you have all the meals and everything.
I do want to go back because I want to see Epcot for what it is now versus when I was a kid.
I love Epcot.
It was to the point where we did the all-inclusive. When we were checking out, we had to use so many snack points. We filled a cooler with snacks for the ride home.
We did.
Like, we were going up to the counter with armfuls of stuff. Like, oh, you still have 15 more points. We're like, okay. Boys, what else do you want?
Snickers and Three Musketeers.
Yeah, it was. Listen, we paid a lot for that trip, but it was well worth it. And now they have the new. I think they got rid of all the buses that would take you to the parks, and now they have the Sky Tram, which is one floor up and it takes you. I kind of want to see that.
I would like to go. I want to go to Universal Studios though.
Yeah.
That me and Barbie were just talking about that because we've done Disney a few times with the boys, but we've never taken them to Universal.
We did once when Otto was one.
Yeah, he doesn't remember that.
He doesn't. Although I will say it was hilarious because, so at Universal there was like the Dr. Seuss in the Sky Ride, which it's like a little, little train like above
A tram.
the ground. Yeah. And he wasn't allowed to ride that, but he was allowed to ride. I think it was a Simpsons ride of some
Nope,
sort.
it was the Winnie the Pooh ride.
No, Winnie the Pooh is not Universal. It was some sort of ride, but it was similar to the Winnie the Pooh ride, and it like whips you. And when I say this ride
Whips
us
you?
like across,
Wow.
like when it turned, Sean came sliding into me.
That sounds like an
And I'm
adult
like,
ride right
"Girl."
there.
I was like, this is more dangerous than the above the ground like train that looks like a little kiddie ride. Get out of here! I could not believe.
There's something in Cat in the Hat World. I can't remember what it was.
Yeah, I don't remember. It was but it was really, I mean, it was cool. It was still while they were building up the Harry Potter world in Universal, though. So
Yes.
But yeah, you're looking 12 years ago now.
Also, I always see these videos like on TikTok of people doing the Transformers thing where you can go and the guy in the costume will sit there and talk to you. And I didn't know it was a guy in a costume until recently, whenever a guy passed out during the show.
Where he was walking back in and he passed out.
Yeah. And I was like, whoa, I thought that was a robot. Like, like you couldn't go any further back or whatever. And they just kind of, did all the controls and stuff. But that's actually a person in costume on stilts and everything. And good God, you imagine how hot it's got to be in that costume, But that I think would be awesome to go see.
Yeah.
Be able to trash talk a Transformer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, and unfortunately, I've heard that sometimes, especially at Universal, I know a couple. No, this was years ago that used to work there, and they didn't get their mandatory breaks that they were supposed to have happened.
Your mic's cutting out, Barbie.
Yeah, you just went mute.
Oh, is that better?
Yeah.
I don't know what happened. But yeah, so a couple of people that I knew that worked there, they said that they didn't get the mandatory, so I can see how it would happen that someone would pass out from overheating or.
Yeah, that would suck. I hear Disney has that same problem with their people that run around in costumes. Is, they're like forced to be out there because there's this X amount of people and they got all these people and they need you to stay, keep doing what you're doing. It's like, why don't you get in the costume? You get out there.
I lived in the greater Orlando area. At one point, I knew a lot of cast members, and yeah, I have stories that I'll talk about offline. Like, that's not.
I used to want to work at Disney so bad.
So did I until I heard the stories.
Yeah, I'm glad I didn't.
No.
They paid well.
I couldn't do it. I just don't have the patience. It'd just take one person to mouth off to me, and I'd be like, "Really? You really want your kid to see this?"
Yeah, you have no filter and no self-control sometimes.
I'm doing the best I can to watch my language on here, and I've already probably had to hit the beep button a couple of times.
She said, "Get your ish together, BBC."
18+-ish podcast.
Well, true, but at the same time, I really I've got that trucker mouth. I got the soldier's mouth, where I just, especially when I get mad, I just start going, and it's every other word. So I've got to be careful. And I learned real quick when I was out of work during that time. I was working at Domino's, and things are a lot different in the work world than it was when I was working in the industry like that. As a truck driver, we get to be alone a lot, so we can yell and scream and curse all we want at the idiot that brake checks us or cuts us off and gives us the bird, and we give them the bird back, and they can't hear the things that coming out of our mouth. But then when you get in a restaurant environment where you're supposed to be nice and friendly to everybody, and the staff wants you to be nice and friendly, and there's new rules nowadays. You can't tell another employee off. Like back in the day, you get mad at somebody, you just tell them off, and they tell you off, and then you go back to work. Now you tell somebody off, and then it's HR breathing down your neck. How dare you say that to him? He or she is fragile, and it's like, I need to leave. So I have to monitor myself a lot.
You do great driving down here, because man, oh man, people get crazy down here.
I'm not going there. If they're crazy, I need to stay away from them. The people wonder why truck drivers are running people off roads nowadays. It's not always on accident. Just remember, we're 80,000 pounds of steel, and we got fuel. So just give us space. That's all I'm asking for. So, and we need vacation time too. Everybody needs vacation time, but that's it's a definite necessity for every career. So that's really what this whole podcast has been about today, y'all, is vacations. I guess that should be kind of our closing. Should be what would you consider the most important part for your career about taking a vacation?
Being able to shut off and walk away.
I want comments. I want to hear about other crazy vacations. If they have stories, I want them to share.
Yeah, we can bring them up. Any conversation that you want us to talk about. If you got a crazy vacation, tell us about it. If you want us to shout you out in the next video, we can. We could throw something out there and say, remember last time, blah blah blah. But I think that's where we're gonna probably call it here. Is it's always entertaining to see a different perspective. You've got 4 different perspectives, even though we are 2 couples.
One podcast.
But you see a difference between what our vacation is now which we didn't have before. Their vacation, what it is now, with it, and what theirs was before. And then, so when we give you, and we also try to give you ideas of places for you to go. So hopefully we're able to answer some of your questions and I know you probably thought of some. We might have popped in there and been like, I was just wondering about that.
I got a PSA. If you're going to the beaches, be mindful of the flags. The flags, people.
Mm-hmm.
Sharks.
Undertow. Do not swim. It does it.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
Sharks.
Yeah. Sharks. Undertow.
Lots of sharks.
Drownings happen.
Yeah.
And it happens quick.
Happy 4th of July, because I'm sure by the time this comes out, it'll be around that time frame.
Right.
Oh,
Happy
yeah,
Fourth
it's
of July,
almost 4th
everybody.
of July.
But
I did have the
What's
red
our
blue
next,
lights.
definitely
I don't know what our next one's gonna be.
take a vacation, people. You have to take vacation. It's very important. Even if it's a staycation, I think it's very important that you disconnect from what your everyday is. Don't schedule anything. Don't plan anything. Just go. Just fly. Fly by the seat of your pants. Yeah, thank you. Just let it go. Just enjoy it. Just don't. You've got to be able to shut yourself off and basically like restart your battery, because if you don't, you're going to drain yourself, and that's when you become the person nobody likes. You become that Karen that everybody makes fun of.
Everyone needs to get away.
You got to get away.
Next topic, maybe marriage and weddings. I think that could be a whole podcast in and of itself.
I got some wedding pictures I'll show.
I think with that, we need to call this a night. Holy crap. We're going to start talking about
You
wedding
gotta hear about his
pictures.
bachelor
No,
party.
let's not. Nope, where we're
His
done.
bachelor
You
party
guys have a great night.
was epic.
Come back and see us. This podcast is over. We will see you guys back here. 2 Couples, 1 Podcast. Hope you enjoyed it. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.